To you guys, which game has some of the best supers that you can think of? Starting with you, Mr. Game Left.
Well, my definite answer, KOF 13, hands down. Their supers, Neo Maxes in particular, the Neo Maxes, and this is one of the things that I'll say that people, if you have more of an artistic background or like you understand like how this is a whole nother topic, but just I'm just gonna say a short, sweet part of like contrast and things work. How even there was a video breaking down Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is a very primitive looking game in a sense, like it's not like super crazy graphics, but it looks good because of the way the design principles are put together for that game. Um, so KOF is like that. It doesn't like some of the supers aren't like just like cinematic stuff like Dragon Ball, which would probably be my a close second for me. I think Dragon Ball Super, some of the level threes are pretty dope. But KOF, the Neo Maxes, the all black background, and like Andy's is one of my favorite. Perfect example. Andy's is literally just him going across the screen. It's an elbow. It's nothing. He doesn't do anything crazy. But it's like the fact that he goes across. You see the smoke. He disappears, and he reappears, and it's just like this loud crash with the particle effects. Like it's so effective. So that's a perfect example of you don't need like these crazy cinematic, a bunch of stuff going on to be effective. It looks dope. Another great example, Robert. He does the whole like he's kicking you with the fast feet, and then all of a sudden he does a little the vest check, and it's just I'm like these are some of the best supers I've ever seen in my life. Like they did such a good job on these supers. And like I said, sometimes less is more. Sometimes you don't have you just make little small adjustments, and that can make a big difference. Let me see. Takuma, his it's like Mr. Karate's. All these supers are just like so simple, but they're so dope to look at. So I already knew when I saw this topic, I was like, I know, like it's not even a contest. Like KOF 13 and Neo Max is some of the best looking supers, man. I might just go back and watch all of them on YouTube, just because like they're just so good. They're just so much fun to look at. Like I said, those crazy impacts. Like I was mentioning with Hollow Knight, the person was like, well, they took away the hit sparks and stuff when you hit the enemy. It's like, oh, there's no impact, there's no oomph to it. But it's like you put a simple little spark or like little like effect of light or something like this, it changes the whole thing. So it's like if I don't think if they had like those simple little smoke trails and the large impacts in the black background, I don't think those supers would have been as effective. Like if those supers were done without the black background, I don't think they would have worked as well. But it just added that like dynamic factor to it. It's like man, like I'm telling you, I'm like I love seeing Andy Superman. It's just like he's like where'd he go? And he's just like I'm right here with my elbow. It's KO 13. All right, your turn. E. I'm done. I'm done, man. I would drop the mic, but we're on the podcast right now, so I can't.
I don't know how you go meet that one, Evan. How you gonna go after that, man?
So I do like the supers in King of Fighters 13, but I think like if I had to say which game I think has the best supers, I would say it'd be Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Some of the supers in that game are actually super, like really, really cool. I remember the first time I saw Frank West do the Dead Rising thing, and even the startup looks like he's about to do something really not great to you because he stands there and he opens up his arms like he's about to hug you. It's like, and then he does it. It's like, it's time to rock. And then he just grabs you, throws you in the air, and then he's like waiting for you to come down. He's like, Dead Rising, and he just knocks you to the moon, man. Of course, you also have what was it? That character that Rexon was talking. I did Polymar. When Polymar does the super where he splits it to like four people and they're all beating the crap out of you, and then he knocks you, he comes down with his normal form and he steps on you, and then he kind of like squishes you, and then you hear that sound. Man, I get hyped just thinking about some of those supers. Like even like the one chick with the big gun, like her like little counter move. Karis's supers in that game. He has like the counter move where he counters. Then he also has the one where he throws out like the spinning sword and it's like darting all over the screen, and then he runs after it. Of course, you got what was his name, Soki from what was it, Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, where he
Yeah.
like where yo, dude, like some of the suit, like especially when he transforms into the Oni of the Ash, where you're basically up to that point, Soki is already really strong. But when he absorbs enough souls and he transforms into the Oni of the Ash, you are in big trouble. And then he can still do some of his supers and they become even more powerful. Like he's doing the super with the other sword. Ugh! Like, yo, that's that Guilty Gear Strive damage, man. Like, you get hit with those Guilty Gear Strive damages, man. So, yeah, that's my thing telling me I'm out of time. Thank you very much.
We appreciate it, sir.
No. I agree with you, Devin. 100%. I had KOF 13 on my list to talk about. I was actually watching a couple of hours ago. Max reacts to supers, and he reacted to the KOF 13 supers. Yeah, my thing is with the KOF 13 supers is that they have impact. Like you mentioned, Andy's when his elbow hits, you feel it. Like it hits, like the screen shakes, the sound and everything that happens. Oh man, it's just those supers are amazing. Probably one of my favorite in the game that's a bit more on the simpler side, but it's still really cool. And the way they execute it is Leona's. Like she takes the blade out, then she like sticks it in, you just then goes sayonara, and then just takes it like, it's like just
you see the V.
Yeah, like that's that one too. Like all like the KOF 13 supers are just really cool just because they have that oomph to them, and it just goes to show that you don't have to have like a super doesn't have to have like crazy camera angles or like be super cinematic to be cool. As long as it feels like something that hurts and it hits, then yeah, that's what really counts. But since you already mentioned KOF 13, the other game that I was going to talk about is just real quick, Dragon Ball Fighters. It probably has the best cinematic supers, like in like the dramatic finishes, and then just the regular level 3 supers. Like all of them just look amazing. Arxis just did an amazing job capturing the spirit of the anime and just putting it in the game. Whether it's like Gohan and or whether it's Teen Gohan's Kamehameha with Goku, the father son Kamehameha, that looks amazing.
Oh yeah.
Spirit Bomb, just there's just so many amazing supers in that game where you just feel the love that and passion that were put into them in terms of just recreating the anime.
Yeah.
Another series that I give a special shout out to is Marvel vs. Capcom 3. In my opinion, I'd say that out of all the supers, those are like the most memorable. Like I'll never forget, Dr. Doom's level 3, where he puts you in the blender, he sits in the chair, and then it's like this game is over, just smacks the arm side. Like that's awesome. Iron Man's level 3 where it's just a hype beam just coming out of the chest. Just Marvel 3 probably has the most memorable ones for me. It's like just because I play that game so much, I'm never going to forget those supers. But I probably would give it in terms of best supers to KOF 13. Also, shout out to Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 had really good supers. Street Fighter 5, that's one of those things where when they made the transition to Street Fighter 5, the supers aren't as good as 4. 4, it felt like they had more cinematic quality to them, and like the impact was really good. Like Juries in Street Fighter 4 is awesome. But yeah, those are series that I give special mention to, is like KOF, Dragon Ball, Marvel 3, and Street Fighter 4. Like all those games have really good supers, and I would definitely like to hear from other people in the comments or just elsewhere what other games you feel like we didn't talk about that have amazing supers as well.